Yeah, could I get 10 hash browns, please? And then could I get 2 medium black coffees as well, please? That's everything, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Today we have over 400 miles to travel, and I'm gonna find out exactly how much of that can be done in autopilot. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna set a timer for the journey to see how much time we spend driving, and another timer that can only be set when we're engaged in autopilot. So we've just been at McDonald's and we're about to start the journey. Okay, so we've just started. We started from the McDonald's. That's where we're starting the journey from. We've got over 400 miles to go. With the next, we're on 58 miles on the to the North Scottish corner, and that's our first charging destination. So one thing that I'm gonna do throughout the whole thing is I'm gonna stop both timers when we reach the charging destination. Just so it's just a time driven, if that makes sense, on autopilot, because when we're at the station we're not driving anywhere anyway. Guys, I'm literally going to include everything, every lane change I have to make, because this is standard autopilot in this Model 3. This is the Model 3 Standard Range Plus with standard autopilot. So if I need to turn into a lane, I'm in the outside lane now, if I need to turn into a lane, I'm going to take William's going to get his timer and change it. So here's the timers here. This phone on the left is the journey time, so this one's never going to get stopped, and this one on the right is the autopilot time. So this one's been stopped once already, or twice, sorry, so it's already missing 20 seconds. So every single time I have to do a lane change, every single time I go into a roundabout, any time the autopilot comes off, I'm going to press that pause. I am going to stop the journey time and the full self-driving time when we reach the superchargers, because obviously we're not driving. And then by the end of it, we'll know exactly how much time was spent in autopilot versus the actual journey, and we can work out a fantastic percentage of how much time was spent in autopilot. So that's the first hour just done on the drive, and we're at 59 minutes and 16 seconds on the full self-driving. So we've lost around a minute so far, and most of that has come through lane changes. So to change lane, it's taken about 3 or 4 seconds and then get back into autopilot. So we're losing about 3 or 4 seconds each time we change lanes. So if you had full self-driving, you wouldn't lose those 4 seconds. Now 4 seconds doesn't sound like much, but if you was to do 100 lane changes, that's 400 seconds, which again doesn't actually sound like much at all in terms of the grand scheme of things. So, but right now I'm occupying the outside lane. If anyone comes up behind me, I'll do a lane change and show you how William stops the time and all that sort of stuff. In fact, I'm going to change lane now because I'm empty. 3, 2, 1. There you go, that's basically it. So every time I know, because you kind of know when you're going to take it out of autopilot, so every time I know I'm going to come out of autopilot, William pauses it and we carry on going. So right now there's exactly 1 minute between them. One's on 1:01:32, I know, and the other one's on 1 hour and 37. So there's about a minute between them. We've lost about a minute so far. So that's a good percentage so far. It's not the best actually. It's not bad, it's not bad. So we'll find out by the end of it what this does. One of the really exciting things for me today is I got up at 5 in the morning this morning to pack our equipment for the job we're doing today. And when we get to the other side in Scotland, we're going to be with clients straight away, and we're going to be on business straight away. So we're doing a 9 to 10 hour drive, whatever it is. I'll let you know how long it is. And on the other end of it, I need to feel fresh. So this is a very big test for that, because last time I had a decent sleep. This is the first time I'm doing it with, I've only had about 4 or 5 hours sleep last night, and now we're driving 8 or 9 hours or whatever it is. So when I get on the other end, I will be able to tell you if I feel fresh or if I do not. Have you ever seen such violently fizzy drinks? This is actually gonna hurt. What the hell? So this is my opinion on autopilot at the moment, is if you were driving on a road trip with your friend and you were the passenger and it was an 8-hour drive and you were the passenger, when you arrive to the destination, you probably don't feel that tired, right? You probably feel kind of okay. You might feel a little bit tired, but no more than you normally would have if you just sat at home on the sofa. If you were the driver and you'd driven 8 hours, you arrive to the destination feeling really tired. Well, when you're on autopilot, you feel like the passenger when you arrive. That's how I felt last time. Now, it might not be the same today, but you basically feel like the passenger almost. So, if that's the case again, we're laughing. And that's to try, with this video, that's the point I'm trying to make. I'm trying to find out if it's actually legit. If the car is doing 90% of the driving, then you are kind of the passenger, right? Who drove the car? The car did. Anyway, that's just my opinion on the matter. I'll let you know at the very end whether I feel tired or not and how good I feel. But that's my opinion as it stands. Let's go. Okay, so best looking Model 3 award goes to that guy. So it was the grey Model 3, white interior, performance Model 3. Probably your favourite looking car anyway.
Yeah.
So we've now got 1 minute 10 seconds between them. So the first hour and 20 minutes of driving, we've lost 1 minute and 10 seconds to where we've had to actually drive the car. So on this 1 hour and 20 minute journey, I've driven 1 minute 10 seconds. We're just about to pull up to the supercharger, so I will show you what I'm doing down here on the stopwatches to equate for this time and sort of how much time we lose. So first one is coming up. So I'm turning off here, so I'm gonna and then back again. So now we're coming up to the charger. We've got to go over this roundabout. So once I'm back out, I'm back out. Oh, still in autopilot. Slowing down itself. This is really good for me. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna take it out of charging of autopilot now. So now we are actually driving the car, and that's it, guys. So now we're at the charger. We're at the charger. First charging stop. So far these are our times here so far. We've been driving for 1 hour 20 minutes and 20 seconds. And we've been in autopilot for 1 hour 18 minutes and 31 seconds of that 1 hour and 20 minutes. I'm impressed with that. So we've lost a minute and a half. We lost almost a minute and 50 seconds at this point. I'm impressed. So that's a lot of drive. The autopilot's done a lot of driving. Now, I don't know if the whole journey is going to be like that. We've got 400 miles. Still got well over, I think, well over 300 miles. We're going over 400 miles, but I'll try and round up exactly how far we travelled. Oh, bit of splatter poop on the getting 123 kilowatts, 555 miles an hour. Someone in the comment section, 5 in the morning, guys, 5 in the morning. Someone in the comment section on one of the last videos mentioned about my hair. Looked like I just got out of bed. Well, have a look at it now. We're at the Scotch corner. Now we are off to Gretna Green. So we've got an 80-mile trip. We're going to start the timer back up in a second and get on the way. So one thing to note is that in the last travel video that we did to Scotland, a lot of people said, hey, you know you can use the toilets at all the places you stopped. You didn't have to hold your wee in until you got to the service station. Well, they were right. We just went into the hotel, William used the toilet. To a stop. So guys, we're about just over 3 minutes difference at the moment. That's crazy. So we're about 3 minutes and 6-7 seconds difference, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna hopefully pull off this roundabout. Is it gonna do it? Wow! It's doing it all itself. And we're still in autopilot. We just lost 1 minute, I think, of autopilot there. All because of my fault. I took the wrong exit. Well, I attempted to take the wrong exit, so I was sat on the roundabout without autopilot. My fault. The car actually, when we went back round in time, actually did the whole roundabout itself. So remember that 1 minute of this whole journey could have been on autopilot and I messed up instead. Anyway, back to the road. So we've got 18 miles left on this road. It's one long straight road and then we're at the chargers. So there'll be no interventions bar when we arrive at the service station. The motherlands! Okay, look at these horrible conditions, guys. It's making it really a treat being an autopilot. So we're just about to pull off here, so I need to pause the timer in a second and go to the second supercharging destination. So right now, we are 4 minutes separated now. 4 minutes separated. So I've driven for, well, 4 minutes 30 I've driven for. We're at the Gretna Green service station. 3, 2, 1. If I can get it into autopilot, I will, but it is not taking autopilot right now. Okay, cool, let's go charge this up. Right, guys. So we've stopped both the chargers now. We're at the supercharger just here. Let's see if there's any spots. So there's only 4 charging stalls here. That's crazy. So there's 4 charging stalls. I'm gonna charge up, they're all empty, so it doesn't matter, but I could imagine this to get a bit queuey. So the journey time has taken 2 hours, 48 minutes and 55 seconds. We've been in autopilot for 2 hours, 43 minutes and 56 seconds. So there's a difference of around 5 minutes. Is that right? What that right? Yeah, so 5 minutes exactly. Coming up to 3 hours, almost, we're 10 minutes off 3 hours, and I have only driven, actually taken control of the car for 5 minutes of that time. Now here's the thing, guys, I want to stress in this, and ignore the hairdo. I know everyone's like trying to watch this video and they're thinking the hairdo. Well, get over it. That's my hair today. I am being super strict with this. Every single turn, everything is being recorded. I'm being as fair as I can be, and I'm recording everything. And this is my thing. If you don't believe me, go get Elon to run diagnosis on this car and he will tell you that I wasn't lying. But no, in all seriousness, if Tesla could look at the diagnosis of the car, they'll be able to see it exactly the same. I'm on about, I think by the end of the day, I'll be wrong by about 5 seconds to 10 seconds. That's the sort of margin I'll give myself, 5 to 10 seconds, because I'm banging it, boom, banging it again. So I'm feeling nice and fresh. We are almost 3 hours into the journey and I'm feeling like I haven't done any driving whatsoever. I remember when an hour, 2 hours used to feel like a long drive for me, which I got over because I used to do a lot of driving for work. But this last 3 hours has felt molto bene. What? I don't know what I'm on about. It's felt amazing. I've not got any fatigue yet. No fatigue yet, no tiredness yet. No. Okay, so we're back on the road, guys. And we're just about to join the M74 and I'll be able to get the autopilot turned back on. So you see, I'm being as fair as possible. Most of the autopilot not being in autopilot, here we're in. It's because we're linking onto like roads and stuff like that and going to the chargers. So a large portion of that time is spent just linking onto these roads. Right, we're on the motorway again. We've got 75 miles till Glasgow. So I should do it with minimal changes apart from this one. No, let me in. Damn it. Okay, so we lost about a couple extra seconds there. So yeah, but there should be minimal changes. It'll just be lane changes, so it should be all right. Anyway, see you guys on the other side. For around 6-7 minutes now. I've been doing about 6-7 minutes of driving, the car's done the rest. The car's done 3 hours and 37 minutes. Quite annoying flow of traffic, so a lot of lane changes. Last time we came down it was a lot quieter, so I could just set the car and leave it. So this is where full self-driving would be a little bit benefit. Could do the lane change until technically let the car drive. But just so you know, like the lane changes don't take that much energy. So I mean, I'm counting them, to be fair to the test, but at the same time it don't take that much energy to be able to change your lane. So now we've got 67 miles left to Glasgow. Okay, that's how I'm doing it, guys, every time I do a lane change. So we're coming off in a sec, so I'm probably gonna have to do that again in a second. You see, that's like 3 seconds. So it's not actually that much time outside of autopilot. And then when you've got like a 100-mile stretch, obviously that takes up a lot of, that rebalances that 3 seconds to turn it into a kind of tiny percentage of driving done without autopilot on. So yeah, so we are now turning it into Glasgow. Okay guys, I'll be honest with you, I'm filming a pre-ending right now. We've been driving for 4 minutes 20 and the autopilot's been driving for 4 minutes 30, just around that, sorry. No, 4 minutes 12:30. The reason I'm filming the ending now is because I've noticed how close the reset button is to the pause button, and I think the fact that we've managed to do over 4 hours of driving without resetting these by mistake is impressive. So, with 4 hours of driving, we have only had 4 hours and 20 minutes of driving. We've only had to drive 7 minutes, 7.5 minutes of where I've been in control. The rest of the time, autopilot's been in control for 4 hours and 13 minutes. Autopilot has been in control of a 4 hour and 21 minute journey. How amazing is that? The reason, like I say, the reason I'm filming the ending now is in case we press that reset button. So if you see in this one of us messed up and we pressed the reset button. But I mean, this is a really good sample size, in my opinion, to go, right, this is how much the autopilot can handle. This is how much percentage. It's a good sample size, I'll let you know. So, we are now about to go to Perth, UK. That's where we're heading, the supercharger in Perth, UK. We are currently at 4 hours 21 minutes, 4 hours 22 minutes of driving, 4 hours 22 minutes of driving, and Autopilot has driven 4 hours 14 minutes and 23 seconds of those 4 hours and 22 minutes. How amazing is that? So far it has driven 7.5 minutes. I've had to drive, sorry. So I've only driven 7.5 minutes. What? And that's what it feels like, genuinely. You feel like a passenger who's held the wheel for 7.5 minutes. That's crazy. We've still got a long way to go. We're only about halfway through this journey. So we're coming up to the supercharger now. I've had to come out briefly. We're gonna go charge up now. So back in a minute. I'm gonna pause both of them now. So he's charging on an e-volt charger. Now, somebody told me in the previous video that in Scotland you can get free e-volt charging. So maybe that's what that guy was doing last time was up here. So I'm gonna pick a random stall. And I'm gonna charge up here. So far the trip, as it goes, we've done 4 hours and 53 minutes and 49 seconds of driving, and the Autopilot has done 4 hours, 45 minutes and 10 seconds of that driving. So I've only done 8 minutes 50 of that. So, one thing, almost 5 hours of driving now, and I feel fresh as a daisy. Doesn't feel like I've driven more than 10 minutes. That's no word of a lie. Felt like this last time. That's why I wanted to make the video. Autopilot is unbelievable. And that's what I'm trying to get across. I'm trying to get across on camera that I'm not having to do the driving. The car is doing the driving. And so I thought, you know, we'll do it in a scientific test and we'll actually prove that I'm not doing the driving by measuring how much time I'm driving versus how much time Autopilot's driving. So that's Perth supercharger, really good supercharger. So we are on our way. Okay guys, we're coming up to the 5 hour mark on the timer. I'm coming up to a roundabout, which I thought I would show you how it's done. So as you can see, if you look here on the driving visuals, we've got a truck in front of us. We do have, in real life, a truck in front of us, and we're trying to take the second exit to the A9. So we're still in Autopilot. Let's see how well this does. This is where we lose the time, by the way, guys. Okay, great. I'm gonna take over now. So I've taken over. We'll lose the timer. So we're losing minutes on the timer. And then as soon as I can get back into Autopilot, play the timer again. There we go. So we've now got 77 miles to go to basically to the charger. So that's kind of Aviemore supercharger is where we're sort of staying around that area. So that'll be the end of the journey. So yeah, we'll see how much we are. We're just coming up to the 5 hour mark. We have been driving for around 9 or 10 minutes now, and the car's been doing the rest of the driving for that 5 hours. So there you go. When you're normally driving, you do not get to experience your surroundings whilst driving through them. Now, driving through the Scottish Highlands is one of the best drives in the world, in my opinion. And for the first time, I can actually just look at stuff, and you know, it's completely different. There's a flipping beautiful river down there with pine trees all around it. And if that floats your boat, go into the link in the description, buy a Tesla Model 3. Look at that. Look at this. William on the camera. Got anything to say about the camera work? Say, William, what were you doing? Or, William, well done. got 5 hours 45 minutes of driving, 5 hours 36 minutes in autopilot. That's good stuff to me. Let's crack on. Okay, we are in Aviemore, last charger. I'm going to show you the phones in a second to show you the difference in autopilot versus the drive. This is last time I claimed this to be the prettiest supercharger in the UK. It is, but you can't see how pretty it is. But guys, I've never seen, this is the first time I've ever seen supercharging spots being iced. So there's this chap's parked here, and he's not in the car, is he? No. And then there's a van parked, and that is in a supercharging stall as well. And there's only, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's 12 chargers. Now, in the unlikely event that drivers came along, that would be really frustrating. And I know you guys in the States see this a lot more because the chargers are more active and stuff like that. So when someone ices it, it's actually a bad thing. But it's just the first time I've ever seen someone ice it, and there's 2 cars doing it. We're all good at reading, aren't we, guys? So anyway, first time I've seen it. There you go. That is 2 vehicles icing superchargers in the UK. Very interesting. Right, let's head into the car and let's have a look at the stats, what we're on. Here is the trip time. 6 hours, 27 minutes and 18 seconds. So 6 hours, 27. And the autopilot time is 6 hours, 17. So we've got exactly 10 minutes difference now. Think about how crazy that is. We've driven, how long? 6 hours and a half. And I've only been in control of the vehicle for 10 minutes of that time. The whole thing is about, like, does autopilot work for fatigue? Does autopilot actually make a difference? Like I said, I was up at 5 o'clock. I do not feel like I have done any driving. Well, I feel like I've done 10 minutes driving. I probably feel as much as fatigued as he is. I do feel like I've driven 10 minutes. That's how it feels at the moment. I've tried to explain this on camera before, but there you go. Feeling really refreshed. Woke up at 5. It's about 6 o'clock now, and we've got an hour to finish this journey off. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit that in because I'm worried about pressing reset. I've already said this in another clip, so this might be the end of the video if I reset the timer by mistake. But as it stands so far, 6 hours, 27 minutes driving time, 6 hours, 17 minutes of that was spent on autopilot. So only 10 minutes I was in control of the vehicle. So we're just starting off from the charger, and I can't get into autopilot, so this is taking me a while. We've just loaded up in Aviemore on a full charge, and now we are on our way to our last location. Hopefully the car doesn't, I don't reset this by mistake or anything like that, and I can give you another 59 minutes, just over an hour of extra driving onto this. So this is, I mean, on a normal day-to-day drive, if you hadn't have been to the charger, you wouldn't be doing this right now, but this is where most of my minutes are spent. I just need to get into autopilot. Come on. No, it flashed up and I missed it. So there's no road markings on the road, so it's nearly impossible to get it into autopilot whilst it's like this, okay. No! I missed it again. Look guys, it's a fair test, this is it. I've wasted over a minute already. This is killing me. No, it came up again! This is the biggest loss of autopilot minutes I've had. This should do it. And that's it, we're back into autopilot. Right, that was frustrating. We've just lost 3 minutes, I think, about there of autopilot, but the rest of the journey I know is one long straight road, so we shouldn't lose any more. Okay, so it's a bit hard to see, but we've been driving now for 7 hours and 11 minutes, and we've had autopilot on for 6 hours 59. So I've driven around 12 minutes of this 7-hour journey. That's crazy. So we're arriving now in Inverness. Just have to overtake this guy. We're pretty much wrapping this journey up, guys. I'm just going to finish it off. We've got a couple more roundabouts to do, and then we're going to go over Inverness Bridge. This roundabout's up until Inverness Bridge. We'll probably add another 30 seconds on it. So yeah, I'll take you over there now. There we go. Right, okay, we're back in. Autopilot. Okay, so we're going over Inverness Bridge now, guys. This is kind of going to be the end of my journey, I think. We'll get to the other side of this. I'm going to stop both timers. I'm going to pause the timer. I've paused the timer, guys. You can trust me. And I'm starting the timer again now. So we're going over Inverness Bridge. This is the end of the journey, guys. When we get to the end of this bridge, I'm going to stop both timers. In fact, I'm going to stop them now. So we stopped the journey on 7 hours, 14 minutes. We stopped the autopilot timer on 7 hours and 1 minute. Yeah, so we've got them saved. Okay, so for me, that was wild. I am majorly impressed. So if you guys could do me a favor, I'm going to share these stats with you, but if you are impressed by this, please go share it on Twitter. So the car journey that I recorded was 7 hours, 14 minutes and 7 seconds. So a nice long slog of a drive. And of that 7 hours, 14 minutes and 7 seconds, Autopilot did 7 hours, 1 minute and 28 seconds. What? I was in control of the vehicle for only 13 minutes of a 7 hour and 15 minute drive. 7 hour, 14 minute drive. I was only in control of the vehicle for 13 minutes. I don't think people understand the significance of that, because I didn't either. Like, oh, autopilot is just, this is what I used to say, autopilot is just guiding you, and lane changes ain't that great because it just takes a little bit of effort. I said before, I think I was just understating this because I didn't want people to think it was coming across as trying to sell Tesla too much, basically. I was trying to say it was amazing. So I said it to you guys last time, the 8-9 hour drive that I did felt like an hour and a half drive. I was understating it quite a bit. I was understating it because I didn't want to come across as I was selling it. But genuinely, autopilot, on that 7 hour, 15 minute drive, it was almost 8 hours that I'd driven, but genuinely, that drive felt like I had been driving for 13 minutes. That's the truth. It genuinely felt like 13 minutes. I don't know how many people are doing these long drives, but these 100-mile straight line roads, autopilot is unbelievable. Now, I think people think that a straight line drive's not that hard. You don't have that much, you don't have to concentrate on that much. But you really do. When safety is involved, you really do. And that's where Tesla just takes over and is unbelievable. And it genuinely felt like a 13-minute drive, but we'd driven 7 hours. Well, actually, we did more that day, but I didn't, obviously, there were certain things I couldn't show you on camera. It's just amazing. I can't believe it. I don't know if anyone's gone to the lengths I went to do this test. If you appreciate what we did in this video, please share it on Twitter. That's the biggest thing. Thank you to you guys who have, Graham, everyone who's been doing that and sharing it. Thank you so much. I've still not managed to break into Twitter. It's really difficult. I don't know how to get a part of the Tesla community, but I feel like some of the stuff we're doing is quite valuable for the Tesla community. Those guys that love this kind of stuff, so I'm hoping we can see them guys. They can see this kind of stuff we're putting in. But yeah, 7 hour drive felt like 13 minutes of driving, and that's no word of a lie. Again, I arrived at the place and went straight to work. I went straight to work where we arrived and got some work done, which is amazing. You just can't do that after an 8-9 hour drive normally. You can't do that, whereas the second occasion I've done this now, I've managed to get to the place and do work. My head's not fuzzy, my head's clear. As always, thank you for watching. It was another long video, so I do appreciate it if you made this far. Salute to you guys. If you are thinking about buying a Tesla, especially I really recommend the Model 3 Standard Range Plus at the moment. I really do recommend that as a car. If you're thinking about buying it, please use the link in the description. It gets you 1,000 free supercharger miles, and it gets me 1,000 free supercharger miles. And it really does help support those long journeys. So thank you so much. Salute to the guys who have used that code. You guys are amazing. As always, you have been wonderful, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.